Hi. I started doing these vlogs about, what was it, last August, last September? Not quite sure. But my first video of this kind was on the subject of how it is that the media tries to use your indignation to fuel the news cycle. A good example of this sort of thing came up recently with a story concerning the CocaCola company and corporate uses of critical race theory in staff training. Images that were apparently grabbed from a diversity training session within Coca-Cola show content that has given rise to concern, and the alarm went out. Coca-Cola pushing toxic ideology. Boycott Coke! I ain't drinking another bottle! Okay, slow down. Slow down. I recognize that there is a dystopian flavor to this kind of language, but let's take a step back and look at the context here. Now, this content was not authored by the Coca-Cola company or anyone associated with it, and it is not a part of their staff training course. It is course material published on LinkedIn, as it turns out, which staff members may access as a part of the course if they wish. The company issued this statement. The video circulating on social media is from a publicly available LinkedIn learning series and is not a focus of our company's curriculum. Our Better Together global learning curriculum is part of a learning plan to help build an inclusive workplace. It is comprised of a number of short vignettes, each a few minutes long. The training includes access to LinkedIn learning on a variety of topics, including on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We will continue to refine this curriculum. Okay, it sounds like they recognize the potential controversy and the situation is contained. Except then, people wanted to know what this sort of material was doing on a professional networking site, which I suppose is understandable. And recognizing the potential for bad optics, LinkedIn promptly retired the course from their site. Now, whilst I would prefer that somewhat radical and emerging fields like CRT be confined to the humanities, at least while they remain controversial and certainly kept away from corporate standards and practices. It was at this stage that I began to think, are we purging? Scratch the surface of the internet and you'll find exclamations like, ban critical race theory. Well, ban it from where? Everywhere? That's a bit radical, don't you think? How is that any different from the demand to remove actors from studios merely on the grounds that they are Republicans? As classical liberals, aren't we supposed to be against the idea of protecting people from ideologies? So I looked into critical race theory, which I was a little bit scared to do. I was afraid that I'd find things in there that might make me angry, and some of it did make me angry, but seeing the argument laid out in an academic context, it seemed clear to me that there was a world of difference in terms of tone between it and this, and that taking the spicy content and running with it is, as I've said many times before, not always the best plan. Not that language like this shouldn't be called out, and I respect people like Carolyn Borsenko and others for doing so. As always though, I would go with rethinking your first impulses in case you end up feeding the wrong beast. I will link a introductory paper on CRT below, and I will certainly try to do more research before doing any more video work on the subject. In the meantime, I understand that there are many people who might say, but you don't understand. Radical leftism is a massive problem in academia, especially in the US, and social institutions are on the line. And fair enough, while I do have some sense of what is going on, I'm not on the front lines, but I think it's useful in any case to argue for more thoughtful commentary. Outrage media wants you to stay indignant so that the topic can remain hot. And in order to not play into that, a good general rule might be the more emotive the headline, the more consideration you should apply. Thanks.